أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. My respected brothers and sisters in Islam, it is the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the opportunity to fulfill one of His greatest commandments. It is the commandments of Salah. Our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said a very beautiful dua, a very beautiful hadith in the beginning of Medina period. Soon as Sahabas have migrated from Mecca to Medina and they are going through a lot of difficulties, it's a very beautiful hadith. It has so much of lessons for us to learn. And it clearly explains to us what is the objective of ibadah. We are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Objective of our salah, objective of all the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What are we trying to obtain from this step? What are we trying to get through that? My respected brothers, the hadith goes on like this. Our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam first said, Afsus salam, Ati'imu ta'am, Wasilul arham, Sallu bil layli wan nasu niyam, Tadkhulul jannata bisalam. First Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, because people from Makkah, they have migrated to Medina, they have lots of difficulties, and they have animosities also between them because they had problems with the family members. They have migrated. First thing Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Afsus salam, spread peace. Generally it is translated as spread salam, say assalamu alaikum. The main objective of salam is not just saying assalamu alaikum. Through saying assalamu alaikum, what are you trying to say? That may Allah's peace be upon you. May peace be upon you. So you intend good for that person. You are trying to establish. In this hadith, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't say assalamu alaikum. He said spread peace, afsus salam, spread peace. Our primary responsibility in this world, that is the biggest challenge that we are facing. We need to try to maintain peace at home. Everybody is speaking about the peace of the world. If you want to have peace, can't you tell them? If you're trying to establish peace in the world, we need to have peace at home. So that's why Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam emphasizes, when you enter home, you have to say assalamu alaikum. The main objective is that we maintain peace within ourselves. Afsus salam. So maintaining peace is something very important between brothers and sisters. There might be dispute, there might be issues, problems. And one of the objectives of Ramadan is that we try to rectify these things. We have approached the last 10 nights. We have reached the last 10 nights. If we have not made up things, if we have not rectified our issues between our brothers and sisters, then my dear brothers, you're going to see whatever our ibadah, our du'as, not going to be accepted. If you have problem with your parents, with your brothers, your sisters, neighborhood, please try to rectify that. Before you rectify your relationship, before you rectify your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connecting yourself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we need to rectify our relationship with the fellow creations. Because the main objective of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot please your creator, you cannot please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without pleasing the creation. You need to do your duties towards your creation, towards your fellow brothers and sisters. Without doing that, by serving that, you can serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By being in service of the creation, you can be in the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a hadith al-Qudsi which says very beautifully, in day of Qiyamah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, I was ill, why didn't you come and visit me? I was hungry, why didn't you feed me? I didn't have a house to live, why didn't you give me a shelter? The slave of Allah will say, Ya Allah, You are the creator, nourisher of this entire world. Were you ill? He said, no. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, my slave so and so was ill. If you would have gone and visited him, then you would have found me. My slave so and so was hungry. If you would have fed him, you would have found me. So this is one of the main objectives, establishing peace between us. And then the next word, at'imut ta'am. Another way you can establish brotherhood and establish peace by feeding. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, feed. Feed people. It didn't say feed only poor. You can feed anyone you can. MashaAllah, in the month of Ramadan we are doing that. You see the month of Ramadan, you see the brotherhood, you see the unity. Why? We are sharing whatever we have. This is the hadith when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in the beginning period of Medina, as soon as the people from Mecca have migrated it, they have a lot of issues, tribal issues, Muhajir and Ansar. They are coming as brothers and brothers in Islam, brothers in faith, but they had problems. It was not really, they are agreeing about it. They will have a lot of differences. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants to establish the brotherhood. Afsus salam, at'imut ta'am. The third word, wasilul arham. Wasilul arham, your kinship, your family relationship. You may have issues around. What happened? There was a lot of animosity. One brother is Muslim, another brother is not Muslim. So a lot of problem, dispute between families. Arab tribes were scattered. All this issue. But Rasulullah didn't make a reason. Because he's not a Muslim, you cannot, just avoid him, ignore him. No. Maintain your family relationship. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. This is something very important. We worship whole night, but we don't speak to our brother, one of our sisters, one of our aunties. This is something. Sometimes we say, no, I'm not angry. I'm not talking, but I'm not angry. What does it mean? If you're not angry, you should have concern. You need to ask, are you okay? You must at least say, Assalamu alaikum. You must say, are you okay? Asking him, are you good? Can I help you? Can I do something? These are the words that we ask. You don't need to do anything extra. At least verbally, we need to try to maintain this relationship. Those who do not, may Allah protect all of us. Those who fail in protecting the family relationship, in day of Qiyamah, they're going to be in trouble. There was a Sahabi, he came and he said, Ya Rasulullah, every time I do good for my family, I do my best. In return, they do bad to me. They don't treat me the same way I treat them. So Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, family relationship is not a business deal. They do good and you do good. They do bad, you do bad. No. Whatever it is, their attitude can be bad towards you. They may ignore you. They may hurt you. But as you have to fulfill your responsibility. Your responsibility as a brother, your responsibility as a sister, your responsibility individual, you need to forgive and you need to do your duty. Rest is in Allah's hand. And especially in this month of Ramadan, our relationship with the parents. Those who hurt the parents, why I'm reminding myself and each and every one of you, we have reached the last 10 nights. Suppose one of these nights, inshallah, definitely is going to be night of Laylatul Qadr. But if we have these shortcomings, our night of Laylatul Qadr will not be accepted. Allah will not forgive us even in that night. The night that He is willing to forgive thousands of people, millions of people. He will free so much of people. But if you have not solved your issues between your brothers, between your sisters, then we have an issue. Allah is not willing to forgive us until we rectify those relationships. Especially the parents. Those who hurt the parents. Some of the time, some of here we are parents. We are not happy about our children, how they behave with us. Please, those parents, we need to forgive them. End of the day, if we don't forgive them as parents, they're going to suffer in this world and in Akhirah. As parents, we should have that heart of forgiving. Children should know, we go back to our parents. As parents, sometimes the thinking level will be different. Our mentality will be different. Their mentality will be different. There might be some exchange of words which would have hurt each other. That's why Islam, you see, there's something very important. 3 days is given a limitation for you to sort out issues. more than 3 days and you die in that condition, may Allah protect, one hadith says the person is going to go to Jahannam. Once you pass that 3 days, after that you try to talk, it becomes very difficult. Within that 3 days, you can't physically talk. Anything might be a dispute, you should actually send a text message. Now we have, mashallah, so many mode of communication. We can send an email, we can send a text message, we can WhatsApp him, we can, text him through Viber, you name it. You can say the voice clip. If you feel, I don't want to go in front of him and, stand in front of him and ask forgiveness or apologize, just take a voice clip and send, brother, there's a misunderstanding, please forgive me. Done. You have done your duty. When we have all this mode of communication, but still, there's so much of barriers. Still, we neglect people around. This mode of communication should actually strengthen our relationship. But actually, that's not happening. This mode of communication has become a real trouble. Something that we share in a group, it hurts someone else and it becomes a problem. We don't worry. There's family groups now, there's friends groups, so many groups. We have to be very careful what we say, what we share, because someone might get hurt. Someone might get hurt. So remember, brothers, rectifying our relationship, especially within our blood relationship, that we need to try to uphold and rectify it. Ask forgiveness, because we have reached the last 10 nights. We do not know once again whether we will get another Ramadan. We are lucky. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us another Ramadan. We are not sure whether we will get another chance. So then, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wasilul arham. Then comes sallu bil layli wan nasu niyam tadkhul jannata bisalam. All these, afsus salam, at'imut ta'am, spread peace, feed people, try to maintain your relationship with your family. And then only Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, stand in the night and pray while people are sleeping. Tadkhul jannah. What is the connection between this? Your ibadah, you're standing in the night, you're fasting during the day. If it's not going to rectify your character towards your fellow brother and sister, that means there's something wrong with your ibadah. You're standing in qiyam, you're standing in taraweeh, reading so much of Quran, fasting whole day, giving so much of charity. But if you're not willing to rectify your character and your relationship with your brothers, there's something wrong with your ibadah. There's something wrong with your worship. This is the objective of ibadah. The objective that you pray, through ibadah, you develop your character, especially your human character. You serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you discipline yourself, you train yourself, and then what do? You try to come up with a better person. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects not just the minimum. When it comes to character, our character's pinnacle is very high. Our target is very high. When it comes to our conditions are very high in character. I just want to say one ayah which comes regarding Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. You just imagine, see, can anyone forgive? Just listen what happened. Abu Bakr Siddiq and his daughter Aisha radiyallahu anha. She's beloved wife of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There was a munafiq, I'm just cutting it short, made up a story that Aisha radiallahu anha misbehaved with another person. This spread in Medina like wildfire. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam keeping quiet because wahi is not coming. Don't know what's happening. Everybody is worried. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, father of Aisha, he's very worried. And then he gets to know a person who is living under his sponsorship also involved in this. Not making up the story, but just carrying the message around. He didn't make up the story. He's a Sahabi, he's a Muhajir. His name is Mistah radiallahu anhu. Mistah is who? Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, sister-in-law's son. Wife's own sister's son. He was poor, he was a Muhajir, and he was his relative. He was living under the sponsorship of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. The whole Medina is really stuck. Don't know what to say. We cannot say anything. Rasulullah is waiting for the wahi. Allah has to clarify this. What is happening here? When Abu Bakr Siddiq got to know about it, immediately said, you know what? I'm not going to give single cent to Mistah hereafter. Because he got hurt. In our term, we will say it's fair, am I right? His own daughter. His own daughter. Can any one of us bear? Okay, if it be someone who is just outsider, we will just ignore. Okay, fine. But this being the family, and then still living under his sponsorship. And he got involved in this. Allahu Akbar. When Abu Bakr Siddiq told this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verse, because the standard that Allah is expecting from Abu Bakr Siddiq is very high. Very high. He is the first believer. He is a Siddiq, the first Khalifa, who was right behind Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right through, right through spreading the message of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals, وَلَا يَأْتَلِ أُولِي الْفَضْلِ مِنْكُمْ وَالسَّعَةِ وَلَا يَأْتَلِ أُولِي الْفَضْلِ مِنْكُمْ وَالسَّعَةِ أن يؤتوا أولي القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to those who Allah has given them wealth, and Allah has given them spacious in their heart. Some people have wealth, but they're very stingy. They don't have the heart to give. If Allah has given them both, this both character Abu Bakr Siddiq had. He had wealth, and Allah had given him the heart to give. أَيُّؤْتُوا أُولِي الْقُرْبَى. They should not prevent themselves from giving to their family. وَالْمَسَاكِينَ, and poor. وَالْمُهَاجِرِينَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, and those who have migrated in the path of Allah. All three characters belongs to Mistah radiallahu anhu. Ulama says, Allah could have described Mistah radiallahu anhu by his mistake. The person who, was involved in your daughter's matter. Allah could have described it, but Allah didn't describe. Allah described Mistah radiallahu anhu with his good characters. Is your family member? He is a miskin, and then he is a person who has migrated in path of Allah. Allah. وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَسْمَعُوا. Forgive him and turn the page. Forget it. That's what. Forgive and forget. وَلْيَسْفَحُ word means it's come from suhf. Suhf means a book or anything. You just turn the page. Don't be in the same page. What we do, we forgive, but we keep reading the same page. Whenever you see him, you read that. Whenever you see him, you open that page. Allah is saying, فَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَسْفَحُ. Forgive and turn the page. And then Allah reminds us, أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Don't you wish that Allah should forgive you? Just imagine, this is the verse coming from Abu Bakr Siddiq's name is not directly mentioned, but immediately he understood that this ayah is for me. He said, Wallahi, whatever I'm giving him, not a single cent I'm going to reduce. I'm going to continue paying it. This is the character of the believers. But it's unfortunate. We believe in Islam. We do everything, but when it comes to our ego, I'm not ready to sacrifice my ego. You see, that's the biggest difficult part. You will do so much what you want, but then you have an issue between your ego. You see, if you give in for that, that means through the worship, through this ibadah, you have obtained something. In this month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us, our act of worship should make us a better person. We must become better social beings. Our social conduct outside, our behavior, our family, life. The more you pray, and you cannot be a person who's going to be hurt. There's something wrong with it. If you pray in tahajjud and you're not loving your family, there's something wrong with it. If you're praying and you don't give charity, there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with your prayer. So your ibadah should assist you to become a better person in the world. So alhamdulillah, this is one of the main objective of worship, is that you become a better human being, develop better human quality, better character. Sahabas, they developed such a high quality, they were ready to sacrifice themselves completely for the betterment of another brother, betterment of another Muslim brother and sister. Because they're ready to sacrifice anything. They even sacrifice their own self. But may Allah protect us, we are not ready to sacrifice our needs, our desires for another brother. Leave aside our need. Sometimes we have something extra. We are not ready to sacrifice that and help another needy brother. This Ramadan, we should have this in our mind. Now, there's many Ramadan we have lived. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam only lived after Ramadan, as in Ramadan fasting became compulsory, only 9 Ramadans. All this Ramadan, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, generally he used to give a lot of charities, but in Ramadan he used to give more. Generally Rasulullah used to stand and pray, but in Ramadan Rasulullah used to stand longer. All his amal, there was no difference between Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's Ramadan and other. But in Ramadan he devoted himself more, and especially the last 10 nights of i'tikaf. It's a very important amal. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the Ramadan, he said last 10 nights i'tikaf in the masjid. He actually cut himself completely off from the family and the world. He was connecting himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the last Ramadan he lived, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed 20 days in i'tikaf. 20 days. At least, brothers, I know, mashallah, there are few brothers who have this habit of doing it continuously. At least, if you are unable to do the whole night, maybe a whole day you are working, at least in the night, at least try to spend most of the time in the masjid. Come for Fajr, spend some time with dhikr and go back home, take a rest or whatever, do your work, come back to Dhuhr, spend some more time for after Dhuhr, and then again you come back to Asr, spend more time. When you come for Maghrib, try to stay Maghrib, Isha, and then right through try to stay in the masjid. When you masjid, mashallah, now we come to masjid, but masjid is not a clubhouse. No, it's unfortunate, it has become a clubhouse where we come, we speak. I'tikaf, the main objective, you don't speak worldly affairs. There is no worldly, thinking. You need to keep your mobile phone aside. You don't check your WhatsApp, you don't go through your Facebook, you don't go through your email, nothing. If you stay in the masjid, you are in the Facebook, you're not in i'tikaf. If you're staying in the masjid, you're going through WhatsApp and answering, you're not in i'tikaf. If you're going through an email and replying, you're not in i'tikaf. Because what's happening, your concept, i'tikaf is that you need to cut yourself completely off from the world and connect yourself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need to connect, you need to text Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need to like, you need to comment, you need to share everything that you have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't like and comment in Facebook, you don't forward anything on WhatsApp, you do that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have so many brothers today come and told, please make dua, I have this problem. Just forward that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another person will come and say something, share that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another person just like it, yes, yeah, I'm going to do that. This is what you're going to do. You have your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly and try to develop this. MashaAllah, see right around the world, brothers, they are doing this amal and they see a change. You know what i'tikaf does it? That makes you think who you are. At the moment we are just traveling, we don't know where we are traveling. What is our direction? We don't know our shortcomings. When you sit in a place for a while and think, you start realizing, I have this mistake, I have done this, I have done this, because you're so much busy working for your family, so much busy working for your children, working for the society, you forget about yourself. First you need to protect yourself from hellfire, then only you can protect others. No matter what happens, so protect yourself. So this is a time. You come, you sit, mashallah, rectify yourself. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this opportunity and a beautiful dua that Aisha radiallahu anha, when Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told Aisha radiallahu anha what she should ask when she gets the night of Laylatul Qadr. I think it was shared in the group as well. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Please memorize this dua. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. It's a very beautiful dua. You know what happens? Today I was just going through, they say the man who was involved in the Orlando shooting, he has Googled one of the sheikhs here, Hamza Yusuf's name in Google. They've taken all the reports, all the details. What's happening? There is no privacy now. Whatever you search, whatever you type, whatever you share, don't think you are sharing the photo to your wife. It is only between you and her. No, there is someone else, third person can access that. Our data are not, there is no security for that. There is no protection. Whatever you share in your mobile, your Android phone or whatever, the smartphone you have, information you are sharing, it's not. Everything is recorded. Remember, far before, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, our actions are recorded. If this human being, using that small brain, and if he can store so much of data, and then retrack all the data and take a report of a person, what he has done, our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can't He do that? Everything. But you know what? If we read this dua, and if Allah forgives, you know what happens? Allah takes our entire record, cleared. Our history will be cleared. And not only cleared, Allah will replace that with a better word, with a better action. Allah Akbar. You would have said something bad, but that will be replaced with something good. You would have said something bad, but that will be replaced with something good. This is the meaning of af. Af means Allah will completely raise all our shortcomings, and He will replace with good deeds. Allah Akbar. This is opportunity. And I remember today we were coming back. There's a brother have come who wants to do a reality, 360-degree reality visual movies. This is something new. Reality visual movie. What is it? That means you feel that you are there. You're part of it. Now you are acting it. Now it has, 3D, 4D, everything has come. Now you are part of the movie. You're part of it. You are in that scene. Imagine, I remember when my Ustad was teaching about the, in the chapter of Bukhari, where it speaks about the day of Qiyamah and Qabr and all those. I think me or one of our students asked, Ustad, what happened? You in the Qabr says, you're going to experience the Jannah. You're going to see the Jannah, and the fragrance of Jannah is going to be, you're going to smell it and all these things. Then, the word he used, I can remember 10 years, 12 years ago, he used the exact word. He said, that will be a reality visual. That means you are experiencing, you are seeing it, and you will feel it as real, but you are still not in Jannah, but you will feel it as real. My respected brothers, whatever Rasulullah said, that's those days, for people who lived at that time, they would have thought, is it possible? Can this happen? I can still remember when I got to know first about CCTV. I can still remember going back about my mom always to say, hey, Allah is watching you. Whatever you do, Allah is watching you. I can remember that. As soon as they introduced the CCTV and the guy from distance, he can watch, I remember, if this guy can do, definitely Allah can do it. Definitely. How many? The brother Nazaf is here. He's managing all his stores, just checking it out. Who is coming, who is going. Allahu Akbar. Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These things at this moment, if anyone deny about the day of Qiyamah, if anyone deny the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my respected brother, those days you see anything record, you need big ledgers, Nowadays just chip. A small chip, you don't even see, you're carrying a memory chip, you do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have installed this. Every fur is a memory chip. Every fur is a memory chip. It is recording. It is recording. But the benefit that we get through forgiveness, through afu, and especially in these 10 nights, my dear brothers, this is opportunity. We are sinners, khata'un, and I just want to conclude with this saying, people have good intention. I want to come out of it. But they cannot come out of it because of two reasons. One is a spiritual problem, other one is psychological problem. I want to address the psychological problem. People, okay, you go and pray, give a sadaqah, say astaghfirullah, make tawbah, it'll come right. No, first it's a psychological problem. Psychological problem means your brain is God used to some triggering point. When you see a friend of you, you remember, because there's something that triggers, and that, that produces some cells, and through that your emotions played and you do that. So because of your behavior, that as there's a triggering point, this is very important. Sometimes when you're alone, it triggers. When you're with others, it doesn't trigger. Sometimes when you're with the friends, your bad friends, it triggers. When you come to the masjid, mashallah, you're good. You have the good feeling. But when you go there, it triggers and you do something very bad. Sometimes you just watch a movie, you're watching a movie, it's something good. You see something which is bad, immediately his mind goes somewhere else and he ends up watching something else. So we need to identify what is the triggering point when it comes to our sin. If I'm not performing salah because of this, if I'm sinning, if I'm disobeying Allah because of this, we need to replace those triggering points with good things. That's why when the person who actually killed murdered 100 people. When he went and approached a alim, I said, I want to do tawbah. What did he say? You want to do tawbah? Don't live here. Because this place, you're a murderer. Wherever you go, everybody, even you don't want to do it, they will make you do it because you are a thug here. This is all, everywhere you go, that's what your character, people know you guys. So these are your triggering points, so you'll keep doing it. Leave this village and go to a place where people are, there is a place where pious people are living, go and live with them. Go and live with them. This is what he started that. He want to leave that village, he want to leave that city. Then the death approached, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you. Remember that. So, if you know that, you must try to identify. Sometimes you cannot do it alone, you need the help of a friend, or your parents, or someone. Don't be shy, because if you're not going to rectify before your death, you are in trouble. Second is your spiritual problem. The spiritual problem is that you do not feed your heart. You do not feed your soul. Your one side, the spiritual part, is weak, so you cannot fight your negative part. Feeding that is through salah, through Quran, through tilawat, connecting yourself with Quran, understanding, listening to this zikr, halakat of zikr, sitting together, all these, you feed that soul. So when that spiritually you are boost, you speak about day of Qiyamah, you remember about death, so spiritually you are boost. So when you have some time, if it triggers, then spiritually you have the strength to defend that, to block that and say, no, I'm not going to do it. But this is where people do tawbah and again they keep doing. But if you do tawbah sincerely, I'm not going to do it, but again it happens. Again you do sincerely tawbah, it's fine. Allah will still forgive you. But remember, when you're doing tawbah, don't think, okay, fine, next month I'm going to do it again. Don't have that in the back of your mind. Unfortunately, many people, when Ramadan comes, we don't put full stop. We just put a comma and just it's mark and keep it. And keep it for the 10, the whole month, and next, soon as the Shawwal comes, okay, fine, I'm done now. Immediately forget. This is the biggest mistake that we do. We say, okay, we pause for a while. Now, okay, I'm okay, good, mashallah, for a while. No, don't have that intention. I'm going to stop for a while and then I'm going to continue. Then you have not done a tawbatan nasuha. A tawbah that Allah will accept. Tawbah means that at that time you cry, you really come over. Now generally we have the 27 night program. Every night, last 10 nights should be like 27 night program, And tawbah is not the collective tawbah, Those days back home, our ulama used to say, they used to read, Imam says whatever, the Mamum doesn't know what he's saying, he keep repeating it. He keep repeating it. No, we need to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from our heart. More than the collective tawbah, your individual tawbah. As a family, as an individual, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and you the tawfiq, that be amongst those who will be forgiven, among those who will be showered His mercy, among those who will be, inshallah, freed from hellfire, and may Allah protect our entire progeny family and free all of them from hellfire. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.